Hey y'all, I sat down to make a video about Atlanta, aka the Black Mecca. And I couldn't do that without mentioning the bullshit first. And I hope y'all will stay through the bullshit rant about the bullshit and then the bullshit. But before I lose my shit, I would like to mention that I've seen even more info about the Trump Epstein files, and I need us all to take action about this. I just saw a video about how the PDF files, who were bragging about how cute and sexy and tight like the 9-year-olds was, like, I can't even begin to describe the shit these crazy white people did. I will vomit. I actually cried today when I saw Representative Ilmar Ohan yelling true things during the State of the Union, like, you are a murderer and a liar. You have killed Americans and you should be ashamed. It reminded me that we actually do have government officials who do give a shit and that they are as frustrated as we are. Those of us who are not racist are 38 hot. Ilhan Omar represents Minnesota's 5th congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives. She's been serving since 2019. She's a member of the Democratic Farmer Lab Party, or DFL, the Minnesota state affiliate of the Democratic Party. Her district obviously includes Minneapolis and surrounding suburbs, but we know that Minnesotans rock ISIS shit. We know that, and we all know that they won. Now, Trump is fucking up the Medicaid and Medicare in Minnesota, and this is fucked up, possibly illegal, but we all know that Trump is a narcissist. And because the Minnesotans whooped that ass so bad, he's gonna fuck with their Medicare, Medicaid, and whatever the hell else he can. Because they weren't okay with the Nazi ice. Like, it's crazy, right? But actually, I digress. What I find funny is the group who made all of these years of advances in every possible way while keeping others away from those advances are the only group constantly worried about black people or other minorities, is the group who actually was a slave society, not a society with slaves, because there is a difference between a slave society and a society with slaves. American chattel slavery was a slave society. This means America would have never survived without slaves. And if the minority races and their ancestors weren't so worried, actually still worried about the power in the black people, why disband DEI and then continue to be racist? Make shit fair, and if y'all beat us in a fair fight, which we all know would never happen, and I know that you know that shit, it would never happen. Hence, all the continued racism every fucking where. And in Trump's second term, the black unemployment rate is out of control. It's Michael Jackson bad. Black women are far and away the most educated and highly educated group in this country, in spite of all the racism. And somehow are the most unemployed. This alone proves that the racism that black people face and has faced forever is systemic. Systemic racism is the broadest form of racism, referring to the complex interaction of large-scale societal systems, laws, and ideologies that collectively produce and maintain racial superiority. Everything is affected. Everything, like housing, education, healthcare, criminal justice, all of that shit works together to reinforce the oppression. Like, racism is embedded into the fabric of America. Black women are still dying 85,000 more times compared to any other race. Why? And to keep it that way, to keep us down, they do shit like they did in the 70s or the 80s, which was put cocaine in the streets. They redlined us in and had us trapped in. So, of course, poverty and depression and shit was prevalent in the hoods. because the government designed it like this. Crack was cheaper to make. Y'all have poured cocaine over the hood. Then, when you found out that white people could, in fact, get jiggy with this shit, then you disproportionately changed the sentence for cocaine and crack, even though you know and we know that it's the same chemically. In response, we of fucking course had to have the 100-to-1 crack law, which refers to the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986, a federal law that created a massive disparity in sentencing, imposing penalties for possessing 5 grams of crack cocaine, which is the same as 500 grams of powder cocaine, leading to much harsher sentences for crack offenses, disproportionately affecting the black communities just like they wanted it to. And the war on drugs. Did anybody else know this? I'll never run out of material. So it seems Trump's just doing shit that's always been done, creating a problem and then beat people down while allegedly fixing it. Look at Minnesota. It's the exact same thing on a smaller scale, except they got their shit rocked in real time. And I would just like to mention that Trump and his low approval rating, which is 39%, claims that they want to pass the SAFE Act to prevent fraud. Don't y'all realize that every accusation that these fuckers make is actually an admission of what he's doing? What the hell is wrong with everybody? Why does Germany and Europe have the unredacted files? How come Prince Andrew was arrested and this country continues to operate as usual? Did y'all get y'all 2K check yet? Did you hear about what happened January 28, 2026? The Federal Bureau of Investigation conducted a raid at the Fulton County, Georgia election office in Union City. They seized all physical ballots, ballot images, tabulator tapes, and the voter rolls of Fulton County from the 2020 United States election. Tulsi Gabbard, the damn director of national intelligence, joined the raid and is running her own parallel investigation, which has obviously prompted concerns from critics who have questioned why the intelligence chief, who has no domestic law enforcement powers, would be involved. Please tell me that y'all remember about the judge in South Carolina, because they have been trying to get these voter rolls since the second term started, and she ruled to block the voter rolls from being released to the Department of Justice as a part of Trump's March 2025 executive order aimed at preventing non-citizens from registering to vote, something that is already illegal and taken care of. In her ruling, Goodstein said that turning over the data to the Trump administration could cause immediate and irreparable damage to voters' rights to privacy. And then they blew her fucking house up. Like, I'm pretty sure she got death threats even after they blew her house up. That's fucking suspicious. They want them voter rolls so bad. And now he wants to nationalize the election, which sounds all bad, and we don't even know what that means, and pass a voting law where millions upon millions of Americans will not be able to vote without the usual normal ID that everybody, including myself, has, without a birth certificate or a passport that match. So obviously, again, please watch the SAVE Act video. This will mostly affect women who married and changed their names. Because how the fuck is my birth certificate gonna match my now updated ID? And passports are expensive, and it sounds like a poll tax to me. Because why do I, as an American citizen, have to pay to vote? That feels illegal too. And yes, racist white women, this does apply to you. You are included. But wait, there's more. Coming out of 11 Alive in Cherokee County, Georgia, a political action committee funded by Elon Musk received a letter of reprimand from the Georgia State Election Board this week for sending pre-filled absentee ballot applications to voters ahead of the 2024 election. Several counties flagged the issue concerning America PAC, which raised a lot of money. And Elon Musk reportedly spent $250 million throughout that year. The counties mentioned in the case include Chattanooga, Cherokee, Coweta, Floyd, and Whitfield. The state election board determined that the process of sending out pre-filled applications violated a subsection of Georgia law, which concerns the markings of absentee ballot applications. Obviously, this is not okay. But who the fuck is going to check him, boo? So again, an admission cause Trump and his crew are cheating. And that's why they raided Atlanta shit. They raided the shit out of Fulton County, Georgia. And they took everything from Atlanta, aka the Black Mecca. Trump and his allies have long fixated on Fulton County, Georgia's most populous, since he narrowly lost the state to Democrat Joe Biden in 2020. In the weeks after that election, Trump called Georgia's Secretary of State, Republican Brad Raffensperger, and urged him to help find the almost 12,000 ballots that would enable Trump to be declared the Georgia winner of the state, and raised the prospect of a criminal offense if the official failed to comply, so he threatened him. Raffensperger did not change the vote tally, and Biden won Georgia's 16 electoral votes. Days later, rioters swarmed the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and tried to prevent the official certification of Biden's victory. When Trump returned to the presidency in January 2025, he pardoned more than 1,000 people that were charged in that siege. The president himself, his allies, they refused to accept the fact that they lost. And even if he had won Georgia, he would have still lost the presidency. Pitts defended the county's election practices and said Fulton has conducted 17 elections since 2020 without any issues. A warrant cover sheet provided to the county seems a list of items that the agents were seeking related to the 2020 general election. All ballots, all tabulator tapes, again, the scanners that tally the votes, electronic ballot images created when the ballots were counted and then recounted. In all voter rolls, the FBI drove away with hundreds of boxes of ballots and other documents. County officials say that they were not told why the federal government wanted the documents. The county is also asking the court to unseal the sworn statement from a law enforcement agent that was presented to the judge who actually approved all this shit. She approved the search warrant. Because what was the reason? Why was the fuck all Justice Department declined to comment on the county's motion? Because of course they fucking did. Who gonna check them? Who knows whatever ballots they have now? We don't know if they're counted fairly, and honestly, the results will be the same. Pitt said. Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's director of national intelligence, was at the Fulton search last week, and Democrats in Congress have questioned why. Why was she there? Because the search was a law enforcement, not intelligent action. In a letter to top Democrats on the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, on Monday, Gabbard said Trump asked her to be there under my broad statutory authority to coordinate, integrate, and analyze intelligence related to election security. Who the fuck is looking for anybody in the Trump administration to make us feel great about our election security when we all know again that anything that you accuse somebody else of doing, that's really an admission of what you're doing. You dirty, dirty PDF, pissy, racist piece of shit. It's a lot. We've been through a lot. I, again, wanted to do a video about what made Atlanta the Black Mecca, but then you got the FBI and even Tulsi Gabbard to come and get everything. Like you lost the 2020 election. I do feel that you really did lose the 2020 election and 2024 as well. But hopefully I can calm down and come back and make the rest of my video about Atlanta. I'm sorry, for the stuttering and slipping over my words. I am a disabled person trying to do their best to help all of us. So please watch the next part. Bye.